No rest for the weary or concern for the wicked. It's the next news video for December 9th. And it's an interesting bit of news that I skipped over. That is, because I saved it for this video, that is, that Sasha Banks may be finding her way back to professional wrestling, as there is not a lot of information known about it right now, but what we do know is Sasha will be in Japan on January the 4th for Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know if it's just that she will be visiting friends that she has in New Japan, like Kairi Sane, or it will be just her, or it will be something more. So I don't know if she's going to be there as a fan or prospective possible employee of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know how she could perform or how she could work elsewhere if she is still under contract with WWE. Even though, even though it would have been a far-fetched idea during the Vince era and almost impossible during the Vince era, the idea of this happening during the Triple H era seems like something that could happen. Imagine Sasha Banks working New Japan and being allowed by WWE to work New Japan as a way to up her stock for when she returns to the WWE. Basically, let her do things outside of WWE as a way to keep her happy and allow her to return to the company as a massive star and somebody that they, what was it? What was that Cody Rhodes saying? Allow Sasha Banks to make herself ungoddamn deniable. Because apparently, according to Fightful Select, there have been a variety of promotions asking around to see if Sasha Banks would be available for possible one-off appearances. And basically, I think that would be the smartest decision any of them can make, and an easy way to up the stakes for Sasha Banks. Because imagine if people think that she is done with WWE and that she is allowed to work elsewhere, even if she isn't officially done with WWE and WWE is allowing her to work elsewhere. Just imagine the benefit that would prompt for WWE and Sasha Banks and wrestling as a whole if WWE allowed her to do that, especially helping the fledgling New Japan Pro Wrestling Women's Division that is in connection with Stardom, even if it is just letting Sasha Banks work some promotions that she wants to work, like Stardom, or down in Mexico, and not work everywhere. That is still something that WWE should consider, because it is something that they should have considered back in 2011 when CM Punk did his bit when he left after Money in the Bank 2011. But they never considered it at that time. So this is something, maybe they're getting a second chance to correct a mistake that they made 11 years ago. But that is the Sasha Banks news, and it's positive Sasha Banks news in my opinion, because it raises a little bit more intrigue and interest as far as a pay-per-view that already had a ton of intrigue and a ton of interest, that being New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom, set to take place on January the 4th. As always, Wrestle Kingdom has the first stake in the wrestling calendar with with the first pay-per-view of the new year, but something that is also taking place in the new year for the first time in many years. The man who never keeps his same name, the former John Morrison, now Johnny Fusion. Now Johnny Fusion will be making his way over to MLW for the MLW Blood and Thunder taping on January the 7th. So Johnny Fusion will be adding another name to his ever-expanding repertoire of names surrounding the variety of companies that he works for. But I think that Johnny, whether it's Johnny Fusion or John Morrison or whatever you want to call him, him being in a company like MLW is a perfect fit, and it shows the health of the wrestling business that the boys have so many places to work. The one thing I'm interested in is the status of Freddie Prinze Jr.'s possible wrestling promotion making some headway in 2023 because apparently Freddie Prinze just needed a TV deal to be able to make a little bit more headway as far as the possibility of a promotion for the former WWE member for the former member of WWE Creative. But that is another interesting bit of news that we have not heard a lot about since the summertime. But I'm sure we will hear more about it when there is news to report. Or maybe I'll look into it and let you guys know when I find out more. Speaking of finding out more, we found out more on the Miro situation, as it was apparently rumored that Miro was offered to be a part of the World Title Eliminator Series, given Ethan Page's role. I don't know if that means that he is going to be like the upper mid-card guy that babyfaces fight before facing MJF, as like show me that you're ready type thing. Like the foil before, sort of like Gorilla Monsoon was for Bruno, or Pedro Morales was for Bruno back in the day. You know, who really knows as far as that's concerned. But it is interesting to note that Miro turned down the Ethan Page role for the World Title Eliminator Series. And that's why, according to Dave Meltzer, that's why Miro is still on the show. It is not because there has been nothing, it is just because they couldn't come to an agreement on the creative that was proposed to Miro. So I do hope that Tony and Miro are able to come up with something, because Miro, again, we spoke about people that would be assets to WWE. We spoke about people that would be assets to WWE. Miro, NXT, rather. Miro would definitely be an asset to AEW, if you can get that going. Speaking of AEW, though, let's get to this bit of news. As Dustin Rhodes officially stepped up at an independent wrestling event last weekend and said that 2023 will be his last year as an active wrestler. And part of the reason is that his AEW contract is up in July, which is fitting because this goes back to when he first made the jump in 2019 at AEW Fight for the Fallen in July, when he fought his brother Cody in one of the most talked about matches of the early days of AEW. And Dustin went on record to say that he will be scaling back his in-ring action once his contract's up. It seems like he could re-sign with AEW, but also you should not discount the possibility of Dustin Rhodes joining WWE for one final run with the company, and possibly the feud that we always wanted with him and Cody, especially if Cody Rhodes is in a position like maybe WWE champion by the summer of 2023. Small note here as we jump back to WWE, or small notes here as we jump back to WWE. Last week on Raw, Matt Riddle was written off, seemingly after Solo Sikoa nailed him with a flying hip attack, shades of his uncle Umaga, in a tribute to his uncle Umaga. But the problem was, Riddle had a chair over his head, so he took it like a champ, and it seems like Riddle could be missing from television for a couple of weeks as the bloodline gets a little bit more gruesome with friends of Kevin Owens, which I think I mentioned in a previous video, that I said it seems like it could be possible that they may take out anybody that is associated with Kevin Owens as a way to make it where Kevin Owens seemingly is standing alone. But we are 6 weeks away from the Royal Rumble, so the one question that is left remains is, who will be challenging Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble? Will it be Kevin Owens? If that's the case, then what does that mean for the February pay-per-view in Montreal? Will Sammy be done with the bloodline? And will we see the end of this, the greatest set of creative from WWE in a very long time? And an indication of the Triple H era letting things simmer. Speaking of the Triple H era letting things simmer, Becky Lynch has said in an interview that she is not 100%, and that her shoulder is still not 100% healed. So I do hope that WWE gives her some space and allows the shoulder to heal properly, because the last thing you want is to lose Becky Lynch for any length of time after just returning at War Games. And one last update is that, much like we got an expectation that I will note in the Final Battle update tomorrow, with Ring of Honor television deal to come tomorrow, an update on the future of Ring of Honor tomorrow, but an update on NXT Europe is expected in early 2023. This coming from the media call that Shawn Michaels had talking about NXT Deadline tomorrow earlier this week. So with that being said, all this news is done. It's been a long time since we've had this amount of news in a day, but with that being said, let me know your thoughts on all things talked about in either of these videos down in the comment section below. And if you also want to let me know that you guys are enjoying these videos, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because any and all interactions are more than appreciated. They do help us in our fight with the algorithm. So let us get to 1, 2, 3 on the algorithm and get a little bit more attention on these videos so a lot more people can enjoy them. But for your sake, I do suggest, before you go ding-donging that notification bell to always know when a new video is up on the channel, because you never know when or what I'm going to be posting next. So for your sake, hit that bell down next to the subscription box to always know when a video's up on the channel. And with that being said, I will see you again later today for my preview of AEW Rampage. Till next time, I'll see you soon.